Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check nickel. Back. Get it.
They'll try the left side. Atkins. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Indy. 55 to Mike. Time to go, night. Ready to go. Mike 55.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check A. Orbit. Check 26. Kill.
2nd and 11. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Steele. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Set, ready? 18, gain. General West. Ready?
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Caught. It's Wilson. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
X3, 218, chopper.
Back to throw now on first down. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Set up, 8, read. Check, 45 to mine. I got it. Jim. Okay, go.
They'll run on first down. Bradley. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
At the 17-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Wild bill. Alert, flare.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Right here. Check 3. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Touchdown, baby. Let's go.
A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
jet bomber. Hey, watch the legs.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't going nowhere.
Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. from 21 yards away, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Let's go, get set. Ready.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7.
He'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Check 99. Switch it. Come here, switch it.
On second down, it's Bradley. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Bravo.
They're going to look to throw. And he completes it to Wilson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it.
Hey, lock it. Whip. Watch the whip. Check out. Now.
They'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. Watch the safety creep. On the ball. Get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
A 2-yard loss brings up third down and 12.
Ready, ready. 60 yards. I got you. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. You're on there, baby. You gonna get this. You're on there.
They'll look to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 55, Mike 52.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
A gain of 11 brings up second down at the 45-yard line.
Let's go now. 90, Wolf. You must be dreaming. Under 10, under 10, 10. You go tight. You got tight. Hey. Mike, 50 clear. Right there in the middle, 55. Let's pick it up.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Go. 55 is Mike, guys. 55. Look. Squeeze. Check. Ready.
Looking to throw. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Let's go.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you. 49, check 49. Check.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Go. 54. Sweet grip.
They'll set up the throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Kenny Golladay, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Second and 3. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here we go. And 2 stop.
They get hit with that. Shoot.
Protein spill. Roll out.
On first down, it's Bradley. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Hey, wahoo!
Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Bradley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Caught by Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Let's go now. 10 Lobo.
It's a party now. It's a party now. Kill.
Hey, Sam on.
He's checking.
On 3rd down, it's Bradley. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll keep it on the ground. Bradley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 43.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 21.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Steelers 24, Falcons 14. St. Gonzalez set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And an alley to run. And what a return. He's all the way down to the 30.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch twist.
General West.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
X3, 218, chopper.
37's the Mike 37.
Back to throw here. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. And his kick is indeed good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Watch block, motion, block. Bang, 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 bang.
Ready?
They run the counter. It's Bradley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
6-yard line.
Set up. 15 line. 15 line.
Pick it up. Show it up. Jumper. Jump.
Hard.
Lucky.
2nd and 11. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's gonna take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready up.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Hey. 4 down.
They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it first and 10. And an alley to run. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 53 yards.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's first and 10. He'll look to throw. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, exit.
I got you. 45.
Rock it.
I'm trying to collect. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Get it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
A loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Check your hot read.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Bradley. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a second and 14.
Ready.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. So we got man.
Snap.
They'll keep it on the ground. Atkins, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, They're not as worried and concerned about getting him out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Ready, ready. 15, run. 15, run.
Switch, switch, switch.
Shoot.
On second down now. It's Bradley, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the 24-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And they give this time to the tailback. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
65, 65, 65.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. He's going to field this at the 4. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Let's go. Hand over.
Brings up second and 11 at the 25-yard line.
Say go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback gets this. It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take